Segment is sponsored by Abbott. March is Brain Injury Awareness Month, and now is the time to get up to speed on the symptoms because a recent survey found 50% of people who experience a possible concussion don't get it checked. Joining us now is Dr. Beth McQuiston, Medical Director in Abbott's Diagnostics Business and Neurologist, and Kathy Dieringer, President of the National Athletic Trainers Association, who are here to share what parents, coaches, and caregivers need to know about concussions and why you should never just walk off a hit to the head. Welcome to the show, ladies. So great to have you on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for both joining us. And Dr. Beth, I'd like to start off with something a bit surprising. A survey from your newly formed Concussion Awareness Now Coalition found that 1 in 2 concussions are ignored. Can you explain why you think that is and why it's so important to really know these signs?
First, concussions are unplanned and they can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. And secondly, it's really difficult for people to know if they've been injured. If you injure your ankle, you can see that your ankle is swollen and that it hurts. When you injure your brain, it's almost like an invisible injury. You can't see your brain. We did a survey at Abbott of 1,000 adults across the United States, and what we found is that 8 out of 10 people couldn't identify the top signs and symptoms of concussion. And you can't treat what you don't know.
That's such a good point, absolutely. And then March is actually National Athletic Training Month, and many people are associating concussions with sports. Kathy, what should parents and coaches know to help protect their kids and athletes?
Parents and coaches should know that we see over 300,000 concussions in high school and collegiate athletes. So the question they should be asking is, who's taking care of your children when they're participating in sports? Athletic trainers have the educational background, the knowledge, and the expertise to recognize the signs and symptoms of a concussion and to manage them appropriately so they can safely return to play. But we have to be there. And we know that 1/3 of all high schools across the country don't have access to athletic trainers. So parents, please ask your schools, who's taking care of my child should they experience an injury? And ask how you can hire an athletic trainer if you don't already have one.
I love that. Parents, truly, be your own best advocate for your children. I want to talk about how concussions usually happen. Can you guys kind of give us some examples?
Sure. The most common cause of concussions would be slips and falls, followed by motor vehicle accidents. And in fact, there are a couple myths associated with how concussions happen. One of them would be that only athletes get concussions. And in fact, the most common cause of concussions are because of falls in non-athletes. A second myth would be that you have to lose consciousness to have a concussion. In fact, most people that have a concussion don't lose consciousness. And then Kathy?
And then a couple of other myths that we would like to dispel is that in order to get a concussion, you have to have a direct blow to your head. And that's just not true. You can have a significant blow to your body and it can cause a concussion.
Wow.
And then finally, as it relates to sport, females have more concussions than males, and most would believe that the opposite is true. But in actuality, females have 2 to 3 times the number of concussions than their male counterparts.
Wow.
So it is important that we treat every athlete individually.
Okay, that is such a staggering statistic, and you ladies have been so informative. We so appreciate you coming on. I feel like we could talk about this for a long time, but thank you, Dr. Beth and Kathy, so much for being on.
Sure, and go to concussionawarenessnow.org for more information.
Thanks again. Take care.
Thank you.